Okay, we just started out on the Deckers Creek Trail. We bypassed about the first mile and a half. It starts right in Morgantown. We're in Sabraton, headed east. We're going to attempt to get to Reedsville. Elevation gain of about 800 to 900 feet. So it's paved in urban setting. It'll turn to gravel in a couple miles here. Right near the 3-mile marker, it turned to gravel. So it said it was 3 miles of paved surface if you started in Morgantown. We bypassed at least the first mile and a half of that, just because that's an urban setting. Definitely an uphill grade here. We're along Deckers Creek. I-68. Right there is Deckers Creek. A lot of water in it from recent rains. We're up on the hill, good distance above Deckers Creek. Definitely climbing here. I think I calculated about 80 to 90 feet per mile till it levels off. I think up at Masontown, which is a few miles short of Reedsville, our destination. We got a raccoon headed right towards us. There it is. It's going to stand right there. Right past mile marker 9, this old church. Coming across the conveyor line here. I think it's to a limestone plant right over in there. It's running. It's a conveyor belt. I think we're coming up to the Greer Limestone Company. Looks like waste piles there. There was a smaller plant that I'd crossed just back there where that conveyor went across the trail, above the trail. But this is the main Greer limestone plant. Sun's in my eyes. concrete wall, as well as the cut stone walls you'll see here in a second. Right above the limestone company down there. Not sure what these ruins were. This waterfall and the rapids below it are at mile marker 12. Well, as you can see, I made it to the Masontown trailhead here. So it should be relatively flat all the way over to Reedsville. I think the trail goes about another mile past that. We might go there. We've still got a lot of battery. There was one of these structures on the Mon River Trail between Prickett's Fort and Morgantown. So I'm going to have to look up what this is. Obviously something to do with the railroad. It's a concrete structure. Okay, we're at Reedsville Park. Half mile to downtown Reedsville and 1.9 miles to the end of the trail. And we've come 15.7 miles. Well, we made it to the end of the trail as if you're coming from Morgantown going east. There is a section of the trail on the other side of this. Somewhere back in here there's a tunnel that has had some damage to it, either intentionally or by collapse. If I read correctly, I think it was in some intentional damage that caused some collapse, and it's beyond repair. Not sure what that is down there. Yeah, we're headed back here. Long, straight, flat stretch here. We just passed Reedsville. We're going back to Masontown, and then it'll be all downhill from there. Across the little bridge over Decker's Creek. The further we get down here, there's a lot of bridge crossings. You see we're in farm territory here. Big silos off in the distance. This is still that same straightaway that I just mentioned. Seems like I've been on it for 5 minutes. We're at mile marker 16. We got to get back to about 2 in that range, maybe a little less than 2. 14 miles to go. Most of it either this level till we get to Masontown, and then mostly downhill. We lost one of the 5 bars on the battery at about 17 miles, which was a mile and a half to a couple miles short of the end of the trail there. But I expected that because we were going uphill. So almost 80% of the time there we were climbing 2% or greater grade. So I didn't expect to get as much battery life out of that first bar as I have in the past. On some of the other trips I've got as many as 28 miles on that first bar before I lost it. That's because I was on level or descending type of a grade. Flat at Masontown. Several swampy areas. Look at all the lily pads. In this flat area up here, Decker's Creek snakes back and forth several times. This is one of the bridges over Decker's Creek. See, there's not a whole lot to it there. It's still muddy up here. And no sooner turned the camera off, and here's another bridge that we're going over Decker's Creek yet again. Bridge surfaces are concrete up here in Preston County. Decker's Creek Rail Trail starts in Monongalia County over near Morgantown. Goes 1.9 miles past Reedsville. That's in Preston County. Get a series of two more bridges right here, pretty close together, starting with this one. Again, over the Deckers Creek.
Few moments later.
I see one in the distance too, so there's three right in a row. Each one of them less than 100 yards apiece apart. Nice cool area right here in this cut. Mile 14. 12 miles to go. Deckers Creek, big surprise. This is the conveyor for the Deckers Creek Limestone Company. The big plant that we filmed, particularly with the drone, is the Greer, G-R-E-E-R Limestone Company. I don't know if you can see through there. It looks like an old mine portal or ventilation shaft going into the mountain. We won't go past the gate here. I just want to get a better view. Right there. That has something to do with the limestone operation, or it's a mine portal, I don't know. Here's that same raccoon. Something's obviously wrong with it. Looks like a baby. Still here. Hey! Poor thing.